So today I'm going to be talking about how to identify the best fundraising strategy for your nonprofit organization. I'm going to be breaking down the process so that you can be able to identify what's the best way to raise money for my own organization. But before I go into it, let's talk about the mistake most people make when it comes to identifying the best fundraising strategy for their nonprofit. Usually, when we want to approach fundraising, we ask questions like, what's the best fundraising idea for my nonprofit? Or what fundraising ideas do we engage on to raise money for our programs or for our organization? And approaching fundraising this way, of course, is going to lead you on the wrong path because it's never about a shiny idea. It's never about getting the best ideas, possible. It's about building your fundraising approach around your donor. So instead of asking what's the best fundraising idea that we can engage on or what's the best fundraising tactic that we should execute on, the question should be, who do we serve? Who do we want to reach out to raise money? Because once you are able to identify the people you want to reach out to raise money, of course, you can then identify what's the best way to reach these people and what's the best way to engage them to raise money. So if you're asking the question, what's the best fundraising idea to raise money, you're most likely going to be coming up with ideas like events, online donations, corporate sponsorship. While all that are good, it leads you on the wrong path. Because when you begin to build out events, when you begin to build out corporate funding without, first of all, identifying the people who's going to need it, you're most likely going to be building a fancy idea for the sake of its idea rather than for the people you want to reach out to. So the idea of, first of all, identifying who are the people we want to raise money from, who are the people we want to reach through this campaign, is going to help you build what we call a donor-centric fundraising approach. And this, of course, ties up with the relationship building fundraising process we always talk about. Because when you want to raise money, there are three main factors. People need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you before they give to your organization. So if you get to them without having them in mind, without building your entire approach around them, you're most likely going to be saying words that are only interesting to you but not to them. So now the question is, how do you first of all identify the people you want to reach out to so that you can then build a fundraising strategy around them? It's very simple. You need to answer key questions. You need to answer questions like, who are the people who benefit the most from this program, from our organization, from the mission that we create? Who are the people that benefit based on the people that we serve? So, for example, if you serve kids, people that benefit the most from you serving kids are most likely the parents. Or if you serve homeless people, people that are going to benefit the most from you serving homeless people is most likely the real estate people who are going to be having their houses filled, or the home stores, the home decor stores that these people are going to be shopping from once they're able to get homes. So once you are able to pinpoint who are the people who get the most benefit from what we do, you can then move on to now say, how do we then raise money from these people? And I know identifying the kind of people is one thing, but also identifying the kind of people in their numbers. So, for example, you've been able to identify that the people who benefit the most from the children you execute, you impact on, are the parents. How then do you identify these people in their numbers? There are strategies for you to do so. So we have a whole number of strategies. You could get your board members to recommend people that they know that fit the category of people you've identified. Two, you could also reach out to your donor network, people you already engaged with, to say, who do you know that fits this persona, this personality that we're trying to reach out to. Or you could even run a social media campaign trying to get people to recommend this group of people who you've already identified as the key target audience for your campaign. So there are lots of ways, including using softwares like iWave and DonorScope, to identify these people in their thousands, in their millions, if you even want to go as far as that. So, but the core concept here is you are identifying the people who benefit the most, people who who you're looking to target, and then before you now go on to say, how do we raise money from them? So for example, you've been able to identify that the people who are going to make the most benefits are real estate people from homeless people, right? How then do you raise money from these real estate agents or these real estate companies? That's where you then map out the fundraising strategy. So your fundraising strategy, again, should be focused on what we call the relationship building method. It should be focused on getting them to know you, like you, and trust you before you make the ask. And that's why you need to be able to arrange your plan of care when it comes to engaging this group of people you've identified, saying, at the beginning, we're going to send out an email to introduce ourselves. Next, we're going to reach out to ask for advice. Next, we're going to send them our organization portfolio for them to know more about our program. Next, we're going to invite them in for one of our programs, or, have them come visit our office, or we go visit their office. You need to have that intentional plan of care that nurtures these relationships before you make the ask. That's how you are able to build a fundraising strategy that brings the results you seek. It's not about identifying a flashy idea from the beginning, just thinking, oh, events are going to be good, corporate funding are going to be good, let's just go execute. No, it's you identifying who needs it, and then the step-by-step process to be able to raise money from these people. If it's events that's going to be a best way to raise money from these people, that's what you then execute. If it's about getting corporate funding from these people, corporate sponsorship, you then execute a process that helps you get corporate sponsorship. If it's about reaching out to these people online through online donations, you then execute a process that gets you to reach out to them through online donations. This is very important that you understand this if you want to be successful in raising money, if you want to be successful in funding your mission. Because this is where lots of founders and many organizations make the mistake. They always lead with a flashy fundraising strategy. They always lead with a flashy fundraising trend that's happening instead of leading with the people they want to serve. Now, let me say this and say it very clear. You're not just serving the people you impact. You're also serving these donors and these volunteers that work with you to be able to create these results. So your organization is like a platform to serve everyone, to get resources, and then, of course, to use it to reach out to those who need it. So when it comes to identifying the people who's going to provide you that resource, it's the same approach you bring in to identifying the people you're looking to serve before creating a solution to serve them. It's just like saying, I want to create, for example, you don't even know who you want to serve, but you already developed a solution, and then you now have a solution. You're going back to look for who you want to serve. That's a wrong approach. It's like you starting all the way from the back. But if you want to start right, you first of all identify who do I want to serve before then going out to identify how do we serve these people. And that's what fundraising strategizing is all about. It's not about the flashy ideas. It's not all about having your board just brainstorm. It's all about, first of all, identifying who do we want to serve, and then having your broad brainstorm. How do we then raise money from these people using the relationship building approach? The relationship building approach that gets them to like you, know you, trust you before they give to you. Or in the relationship building process, we talk about initiating relationship, nurturing these relationships before making the ask. It is very important to understand this one key concept. I've seen lots of founders, a lot of organizations getting this wrong, and it has limited their impact and limited their organization. And this is why I'm bringing this to you today. You must get it right if you want to be successful. When it comes to fundraising, fundraising is an art. It is not just a process you just jump into because of flashy ideas. It's a process you plan each step of the way until you get to that point where the resources starts coming in. As a popular fundraiser once said, that was once connected to, she said, when a donor gives to me, they are so happy thinking, they are in control, but they never knew from the very beginning, from the very first communication I had with them, I was in control of the entire process. And that's what it means to raise money successfully. You need to be in control of the entire process. And that involves mapping out the process that aligns with the kind of donors, that aligns with the kind of people who will best serve your mission. If you love this, you want to learn more, stay put. We're going to be bringing more content to you every day. If you're looking to learn how to raise money, if you're looking to learn how to build the fundraising system that ensures the financial sustainability of your organization, reach out to us. We'll be happy to show you how to do it. We'll train you through the process, provide you the tools and the materials you need to execute so that you can start building. You don't need to depend on non-profit consultants. You don't need to depend on expensive, development professionals. All you have to do is be able to follow the fundraising system, build a system that helps you raise money for your organization. So for now, it's going to be bye. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow. Stay put, follow, share. This is very important that every founder and every non-profit knows this. Until I see you, it's bye for today.